it's Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. For today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the budget that I wrote out for my husband's 5th paycheck in the month of March. If you are brand new here, welcome. My name is Jessie. I post new budgeting and lifestyle content here on my channel every single week. My husband and I are on a journey to pay off all of our credit card debt by the end of this year. That is the plan, and I post videos every single week here on my channel documenting our journey. We go through the good, the bad, the ugly. We talk about when I'm over budget, what I've done well, what I've failed at. So if that's the sort of thing you are interested in, you're definitely going to want to click this subscribe button. So I wrote this budget out last week. It was a very bare bones budget. It was the final paycheck my husband received in March. We had already paid all of our bills for the month. We had had kind of a rough month where I was struggling towards the end of it, overspending. So I decided for the last paycheck in March, I was going to just kind of eke by, budget, bare bones, pay just what I needed to pay, and limp through the rest of March so that we could start fresh in April. If you missed the video where I wrote out this budget, you can check it out. I will link it in a card above so you can kind of hear my thought process about everything. But for today's video, we are going to be looking at this budget, and we are going to be taking a look at all of my transactions for the week so we can see where I maybe overspent, where I did well, and we're going to document it all today in this actual column. So I have a couple of ink pens here from Parkoo. I have my black pen for when I am under budget. I always like to write it in black, but if I'm over budget, I'll write it in red, and that way I can very easily glance at the page, see where I kind of messed up or where I overspent a little bit, and it's a glaring reminder of that. So I have my paycheck bill tracker here from my budget by paycheck workbook. This is where I wrote my budget, and we are going to reference my transaction log as well, which I also have here in this same planner. This is a Happy Planner disc bound system where I keep my budget by paycheck workbook pages. I keep a lot of life planning pages where I do like daily or weekly planning. Basically, everything I need is right here in this one book. And here I have my transaction log. Now, this is actually the transaction log for April, but this whole week is the week we are looking at. It's the week of March 30th through April 5th. Since it was all here on this page, I decided it was easier just to reference this rather than writing it in my March calendar, which you will know if you've been watching my channel for a while, is in a different planner. I just recently made the transition to having everything in one place. This page that you are looking at comes from an Erin Condren monthly planner, an 8.5 by 11 size, which I uncoiled, and then I just put washi tape over the binding that was here, punched it with my arc punch, and now it's here in my Franken planner as well. So I tracked all of my transactions for the week. I like to use a color coding system, which you can see here if you look at my key. I know the camera's zoomed out a little bit so that I can get the whole planner in frame, but I will move you guys a little bit closer so you can see this a little bit better. But anytime that I spent money throughout this week, I tracked it. Each of my transactions got sorted into a category, whether it was a bill that I paid, grocery expense, my spending money, that sort of thing. Each of those things has a color, so each transaction was broken down by category, placed on the calendar on the day that the spending happened, and that is how I keep track of my transactions. If you would like to see a more in-depth video where I show you guys a little bit more about how I track my transactions, I have a couple of those on my channel. You can just search my channel for transaction tracking. And if you would like an updated video on that, let me know. I'd be happy to film that for you. So we're going to flip back here to my page. Here it is. and we're just going to get started. So the very first thing that we have here on my budget is my grocery shopping. That was the only thing that I put under bills. All the rest of my bills had been paid. I put groceries under the bills category because I use my checking account to pay for my groceries, and that is because I use the Walmart pickup service. If you are not familiar with the Walmart pickup service, it is a phenomenal service that Walmart offers. You can go online, purchase your groceries through the Walmart grocery app or their website, and schedule them for pickup, and then you can just drive up. They'll load them right into your car. It makes it super easy to stick to my grocery budget, and it's super convenient. I don't have to walk through the store. So since that is paid through my checking account, that goes under bills. I keep everything that's paid through my checking account under this bills category. So for groceries, I budgeted $150, as you can maybe see here. Like I said, I know I'm zoomed out kind of far, but that is what it says there, 150. And so if we flip to my transaction log and we take a look here at my key, you can see that grocery transactions are in this light pink color. So in order for me to figure out exactly what I spent on groceries for the week, I just need to pick out all the pink stickers. So it makes it really, really easy for me to reconcile my budget at the end of each week. So you can see here I had a grocery transaction on Tuesday and another one on Saturday. So I'm going to just grab my calculator here, which I use on my phone, and we're just going to add up those transactions. So on this Tuesday at Walmart, I spent $121.46. If you go back and watch the vlog I posted last week, I included a grocery haul in there, as well as showing you how I broke down my grocery bill to include my household expenses and my grocery expenses. So you can check that out if you are interested. But $121.46 of what I spent at Walmart on Tuesday was a grocery transaction, so that's there. And then we went back to the grocery store on Saturday because I totally forgot a few things. I do that quite often. So we spent another $11.61. So we'll just add that up. And that gives us a total of $133.07. I don't know how well you guys can see this. I recently got a new phone and my calculator app is a little bit different here, so hopefully you can see it. Let me know if you guys have trouble seeing it, and I will see about fixing that for next week. But for now, we're going to flip back to my March 30th budget, and we're just going to write that in. So I budgeted $150. We spent $133.07, which means we are under budget, so I can write that in black ink. And that's it for my bills category. So I started out with $150 budgeted for this category. We spent $133.07, and that leaves us with $16.93 under budget, which is great. So that's it for my bills section, easy peasy. Now we're gonna go to my cash envelope section. So I stuffed my cash envelopes in my budget video last week, and you would have seen me get all this cash out of the bank, stuff my envelopes, and that's the money that we use throughout the week to, you know, cover our variable expenses. So my husband gets $40 every single week to spend on whatever he wants. I never expect him to tell me what he bought, show me receipts, give me change, anything like that. That's his money to do with as he pleases. So that is always as budgeted. I give him $40. He never comes back and asks for more money. So if he had any money left over for this week, he'll just roll it over into next week. He keeps track of all of his own spending. For my spending money, I also get $40 at the start of every week. Because I'm me, I do track my spending, so we can flip back to my transaction log here. and we can see that my spending is done in this purple sticker here. And you can see I do have one transaction here for $34. I bought some tops from Old Navy, so that is the only sticker, so that's the only transaction. I don't need my calculator to add that up, so I spent $34. And just to double check that, I'm actually going to go into my wallet here and show you my spending envelope. I started out with $40, I spent $34. That means there should be $6 left here in my spending envelope. And if we count this up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that is exactly what I have left here. So I'm going to take this money. I'm not going to put it back in this envelope. I'm just going to set it off to the side. We'll talk about what I'm going to do with any leftover money that I have in my envelopes once I've gone through the rest of my tracking here. So that was my spending money. Next, I have my son, Robert. We give Robert $20 a week for gas. He drives my youngest son around, and he's constantly running to the store for me if I forget something. So we just compensate him a little bit for his gas. So we gave him $20. And much like with my husband's spending, I don't expect to see any of this back. I don't expect receipts. That's his money. For Austin, that's my youngest son, he got $20 in allowance. I did give that to him. For lawn care, we pay a gentleman $20 a week to come and maintain our lawn. So I pulled out $20 for him, and I did give that to him. Next up, we have gas. So I drive a Subaru Forester. It's pretty good on gas, but with gas prices being what they are, it cost me about $40 to fill up my tank from empty. So that's what I budget every week. That way I know I can get a full tank of gas should I need it. However, if we go back to my transaction log, and it is getting a little bit tricky to flip back and forth. I'm kind of just now getting used to this. I haven't done it this way before. You can see here, I track my gas in this light purple color, but there are no light purple stickers on this week. We didn't need to fill up this week. So of that $40, we spent nothing. And if we go into my cash envelope, gas is one of the categories that I carry the cash in my wallet for. So you can see here, my gas envelope still has the full $40 in it that I stuck in there at the start of the week. So I'm going to set that aside with the rest of my spending money that I had left over. And we're going to move on to the next category, which is eating out. I budgeted $50 for my family of 4 to eat out this week. I like to do $50 because that's enough for us to go and have a meal together as a family of 4. In the past, when I've tried to budget less than that, we have gone significantly over budget. So that is what I have figured out that I need to be able to enjoy a meal out with my family, $50. However, this week, we didn't go out for a big meal together as a family. My husband and I celebrated our anniversary on Wednesday the 31st, and we used money from a sinking fund to go out and have a nice meal. And so that sort of acted as our eating out for the week. So we didn't really go out together as a family. If you look here at my key, you can see the eating out is tracked in this yellow color. And we do have one transaction here. We went to Tim Hortons and got a cup of coffee. That was the only eating out that we did this week. So that was actually really, really good. So we only spent $3 of our eating out money, which is incredible. So we spent $3. Let's just really quickly calculate that. 50 minus 3. That means there should be $47 left in my envelope. So let's see if that's the case. So I keep my eating out money in this food envelope here. And we have 20, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, $47 left. So that's going to go over into the stack with the rest of the cash. And we'll continue on here with the last category, which is miscellaneous. We budget $25 a week for anything that comes up throughout the week that I neglected to plan for. It also acts as a little bit of a buffer if we go over budget in one of these other categories. It's just essentially extra money so that, you know, I have it should I need it. So one more time, flipping back to my transaction log here, you see that my miscellaneous is tracked in this light green color, and we had just one transaction here that is green, and that is we tipped the waitress who served us for our anniversary dinner. I like to tip in cash, but I totally forgot to pull some of the cash out of our anniversary envelope. What I did was I took the money from our sinking fund, which I do keep in cash. By the way, if you're new here, you might not know that. I keep all of our sinking funds in cash in an accordion folder like this. It's actually this, it's not like this, this is it. All of my sinking fund categories get a tab, and I keep the cash and a little index card behind each tab to keep track of the sinking fund. So what I had done is I took the anniversary envelope and I took all that cash and I just deposited it into the bank before we went out for our anniversary, but I forgot to keep cash for the tips. So I just took the $25 we had in our miscellaneous fund and tipped the waitress with that. So we, you know, we had a nice dinner. We went to Longhorn Steakhouse. We had a couple of steaks. We enjoyed ourselves. That cost us 86 bucks. And then we tipped using that $25 from our miscellaneous fund. So we budgeted $25. We spent $25. So that means there should be nothing left here in my wallet. And if we flip to my miscellaneous envelope, you can see here that it is empty. So now we're going to use my calculator here and add this up so that we can get a total. So we've got 40 plus 34 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 3 plus 25 is a total of $162. So we budgeted $255 overall for this category, but we only spent $162. So that means that we are under budget in this category by $93. So that is what I should have here in my little stack. So let me just organize this a little bit and we will count it up and see if that is what I have here. Just to double check. So we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93. So, what am I going to do with this money? Well, typically when I have money left over in any of my categories, that money goes straight to debt. I'm not going to take this full $93 and pay it to debt though. As you can see here, if we look at eating out, we were significantly under budget for eating out, but that is not always the case. Eating out is probably the area of my budget that I struggle with the most. So rather than taking all of the leftover money from my eating out category and paying it towards debt, I'm actually going to put some of it back into my eating out envelope, and that will act as a rollover, so I have a little bit of extra money then next week for eating out. So I will still budget this $50 when I do next week's budget, but I will also have some of this leftover money there as well, and that will hopefully prevent me from overspending in that eating out category in the future. So I'm not going to put the whole $47 in there because that would be excessive. That would be $97 then. That's a little excessive. But I am going to take 20 of my leftover eating out dollars, and I'm going to put that right back into my eating out envelope. So we're going to flip to that. I apologize for the glare from my ring light. So we're going to roll over 20, and the rest then will go towards debt. So I'm going to leave myself a little note here on this cash envelope breakdown page. There's a little money thoughts section here, so I'm going to leave myself a little note, and I'm going to say that I rolled $20 over to eating out for next week. That way I don't forget and wonder where the heck that $20 came from. And that leaves me with 20, 40, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, $73 is going to go for an extra debt payment. In addition to this $73, I also had this $16.93 here left over that we didn't spend for groceries, and we're going to pay that to extra debt as well. So $16.93 to extra debt. So let's do a quick calculation. 73 plus 16.93. That means we're going to send an additional $89.93 to our lowest debt, or to the debt we're currently working on rather, which is a Lowe's card. So $89.93 left over at the end of this week that we're going to go towards an extra debt payment. You can see we didn't make any additional extra debt payments. Typically we will have a minimum debt snowball payment that we pay every week, but as I mentioned, we've been struggling a little bit this week or this month, and I just kind of wanted to end March, get it over with, so we didn't send anything else to extra debt. But because of this money that we had left over that we didn't spend, we are going to make an almost $90 debt payment, which is exciting. So going back to here, we didn't have any sinking funds. I didn't add any money to sinking funds. I didn't send anything as a debt snowball like we talked about. But there was these last couple categories down here. These were our extra savings categories. We did put $28 to Savopoly. We did put $15 to the card savings challenge, and we did put $27 aside for the 52-week savings challenge. And if you missed the video where I talked all about our Q1 savings, how much we saved overall in our extra savings categories for the first quarter of the year, you'll definitely want to check out that video. But spoiler alert, we took all of the cash we saved for the first quarter of the year and we put it towards our extra debt as well. So if you want to see exactly how much that was, check out that video. But that is going to do it for today's budget results video. You can see no red ink on the page, which means that we were under budget overall, which is exciting. I kind of expected that though. Like I said, it was a pretty bare bones budget. If we had gone over budget with the very small amount of activity that we had with our budget, that would have been pretty big disappointment. But either way, we did really well. An extra $89 and change is going to go towards debt, which is exciting. We're going to turn the page on March now and move into April with a fresh start. So you're definitely going to want to come back tomorrow to check out my first budget for April. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I post new budgeting and lifestyle content here on my channel every single weekday. So I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!